Why should you join the Livingston County Republican Party?
Why, you ask?
Yeah, why?
Why join?
The Republican Party is the party of common sense.
Common sense.
Republicans support the Constitution.
Republicans protect your rights.
We fight to keep your children safe.
We fight to keep boys and men out of girls and women's sports.
We fight to keep boys out of girls' restrooms.
We fight for you.
What does the Republican Party do?
We help Republican candidates get elected.
Why is it important to elect Republicans?
Why is that important?
Why?
Tell me, why is that important?
Livingston County is one of the safest counties in Michigan.
Livingston County has one of the lowest crime rates in the state of Michigan.
Livingston County has the lowest tax millage rate of all 83 counties.
Republicans work to balance the budget.
Republican legislators vote against raising your taxes.
Republican elected officials believe in transparency.
Republican clerks run elections with integrity.
Republican trustees protect your rights.
Republicans support our veterans.
Who can join?
If you are conservative, we want you in our party.
All conservatives are welcome at our table.
Join our activities.
Join the fun.
Become a member.
Join us now.
Hi, I'm Deb Drick, Chair of Livingston County Republican Party. Our conservative message has been very well received in Livingston County, and I'm so happy to share with you that people are stepping up right and left to help. The only thing's missing is you. Come join our mission. Come join our fun. Go to livingstonrepublicans.com and click join. You'll be glad you did. Good evening and happy April 7th. We are already 1 week into the wettest April in Michigan I remember in many, many years. We've had some issues there at our house with water. I don't know how about Carolyn Henry was telling me the other day that she's had the wettest yard that she's ever had there. So I don't know what's going on in Michigan, but I'm seeing pictures of the tow trucks underneath, underwater, trying to tow cars underwater. So that must be fun. So we have with us tonight the infamous Norris Hardeman, who is a member of our EC, our executive committee in the Republican Party of Livingston County. And Norris is a great volunteer, and he's involved in a lot of things. He's always willing to lend a hand when we need something. One of the things he's agreed to do, one of many things he's agreed to do, is he showed up once in a while at first, and then I started, Norris, what about this? Would you consider doing this? The list gets longer as we go.
It seems that way.
Yeah, it does. So, but you're doing so well. But anyway, Norris is in charge of, he's the chair of our delegate recruitment committee. So they are going around to different places, holding different events, and signing up new delegates. So we're gonna talk about delegates and the importance of them. I think a lot of people really don't know what delegates are or what they do, and so we've decided to hold a delegate roundup. And that'll be for anybody that wants to learn about becoming a delegate or learn what it takes, what the commitment is. And the commitment, I think a lot of people hear that word commitment and go, oh God, I got so much on my plate. So I never want to tell somebody that all it is voting a couple times a year and you're done, because that sets up an expectation. But really, that's what it is. That's the minimum, right? The minimum is I'm going to go backwards so you understand from the pyramid. So you have we're going to start with the state of Michigan. So you have Michigan Republican Party up on the top, okay? And that is made up of a chair, a co-chair, some various vice chairs, and then that are all elected. And then there's a board that is elected representatives from the county chairs. Okay, so county chairs elect representatives to go there, and then they go and they do the board meetings and things for the state party. The county chairs, for example, me, what happens are you get delegates. Everything starts with a delegate, does it not? I mean, you don't go anywhere without delegates.
Bottom level.
Yeah. That's right. So you start with delegates, and you have your delegates, and your delegates go to what's called a county convention. you get elected in August, and then sometime after you get elected in August, sometime in November, December, you have a county convention, and people will have put their name up to become a member of the executive committee, and that's a 2-year term. And the executive committee is your city council or your trustee, your township trustee. It's the board that kind of oversees and does the checks and balances. They also do a whole lot of volunteering, a lot of work. But so if you are a delegate, and to be an executive committee member, you also have to be a paid dues paying member to Livingston County Republican Party. Actually, you don't have to be a delegate. You just have to be a paid member. So, but Republicans, paid members of the party, put their name in because they want to be on the executive committee. And so there's, say, 19 spots, and we might have 40 people want to join. Well, who votes those in? Delegates. All the delegates. They show up at the county convention, and what they do is they get a list of all the people that have signed up, and they pick the 20 or 19 or whatever it is that get to serve. And the top vote getters, the top 19 or 20 or whatever, they get to be on the executive committee. The executive committee then, about a month later, gets together and votes on a chair, a vice chair, a treasurer, and a secretary. And then that's your team. You got your executive committee, and you've got your 4 of the so in December of 2025, I was elected chair. So I've been 24. I was elected December of 2024, and my term started January 1st. So I've been the chair ever since. So anyway, but it starts with the delegates. So then from that point, the delegates also then they meet again in January or February, and then there's this big thing about who's going to be the state chair, and there's usually 3 or 4 candidates, and you got to listen to them, and there's all kinds of stuff, and you get to vote on them, or vote on who goes to vote on them. So not every delegate gets to go. First of all, you have to want to go to state convention, but you at least get to vote on who gets to go there. So if you have 400, we have 400 delegates in the county, and we get 66 to go to the convention, then those 400 get to vote on the 66. So, and you have to say, I want to be one of the 66, and then whatever it is, you get voted on. So, and that happens at county conventions, and then that 66 goes and they vote on who's going to be the state. Also, every other year. So you have the state chair. And then the other thing that the delegates do is they nominate the Secretary of State and the Secretary of State and the Attorney General candidate. We just did that a couple weeks ago. We were at the state convention, and where Doug Lloyd and Anthony Ferlini. You'll remember Doug was here last week, and we had Doug's always fun to be around. So we had Doug. So that's what delegates do. But is there a lot of work to it? I mean, if you just do the minimum meetings, then no, it's not that much at all. You just need to make sure you go, and you need to learn a little bit about the candidates, but you can do that by talking to people. So you can do that. So that's what delegates do. Now, can delegates do more? Absolutely. We've got all kinds of committees and events, and you can do something kind of like joining a monthly committee, a committee that meets monthly, so it's like a regular thing, or you can join something that, like, say, just be part of the parade committee, where a couple times a year you help us build a parade. You help Norris build the parade, the float, and so or you help Joni and I decorate it. So there's different ways you can help. There's dinners you can go to. There's all kinds of stuff. So you can get as involved or as little as you want to. I know this. I have been a Republican on the sidelines, and I've been a Republican in the trenches. I'll tell you something. Being in the trenches beats it. Beats a sidelines, wouldn't you say, Norris?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
So we got some people saying hello. Mark Ashley Price, greetings from Wayne County. Always my first guy. Russ Jennings, I'm glad you're here. Stick around, because I've got some news about what we talked about the other day. And yes, I stretched it beyond your date, so we're good. Mark Ashley Price, precinct delegates are awesome. I'm seeking my 9th term as a precinct delegate this year. I'm currently my term. Wow. Well, good for you. Thank you for that service, Mark Ashley Price. So,
Yeah.
so you tell us what you got going now. Did you guys get a date for the floodgate?
We're still working on that. So Ron's coordinating that. So hopefully we'll get maybe next Sunday, maybe this following Sunday.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. One thing that we should mention as to what precinct delegates can do or contribute to
Okay.
is candidates, helping the candidates get elected.
Sure.
Helping Republicans get elected. Because this year, especially, it's going to be super crucial to that task. We have a lot of, Michigan is up for grabs. Every seat's pretty much contested, right? There aren't any incumbents. This will be a great year for Republicans to move in and take the win. But we will need all hands on deck in order to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
We will need it. If you are a precinct delegate, you are one of the most important cogs in that process,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can educate because you are the contact with your neighborhood, right? You are the local representative of the Republican Party. So by having those interactions, by getting people to basically register to vote, reminding them to vote,
Mm-hmm.
informing them who the candidates are and their benefits, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Those are important things, right? Door knocking, whether it's other things, even stuff in envelopes, whatever it may be, right? All those things are important, and you can help because like I said, you are the front line, one of the frontline people there.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think is probably even just as, if not more important than your actual minimum duties.
Right.
So,
Oh, absolutely. And there's, and let me define that a little bit more too. Helping candidates, you can do helping candidates in a variety of ways. And people hear helping candidates, they think, oh no, door knocking, I don't know how to do that, I can't do that. First of all, if you ever want to do that, we'll show you. I'll go with you. Tell me I'm scared to door knock. Go with me. I'll go with you. You can actually make that a lot of fun. But even if you have mobility issues or you can't do that, there's lots of ways to help candidates. You can go to a candidate's fundraiser and sit and register people as they come in and greet them at the door. You can help them put up signs. Let them give you a list of signs and give you a stack of signs. You drive around, put stuff in people's yards. That, by the way, have asked for it. You're not just randomly picking stuff and jamming it in and running. So I had no worry about dogs there. So yeah, these are people that have asked for signs. So there's things like that you can do too. That if you don't knock doors, you don't knock doors. Everybody says doors are the best way, and I agree. But for somebody that's not comfortable doing it, then it's not a good fit. Mm-hmm. So let's find other things for you to do. Maybe you can host a small fundraiser, even if it's for a small amount of money. Just have a candidate over, let them meet people in your neighborhood, serve tea and crumpets, and just have them over on a patio one day and let them talk about what they're doing and let people, take home signs or t-shirts or bumper stickers or whatever they want. So there's lots and lots of ways to hold a candidate or help a candidate besides just knocking on doors. And that's what we exist for. That's what the Republican Party exists for. That's our whole purpose. We are here to get Republican candidates elected. So anyway, the precinct. So we're going to have a kind of a meet up, a training. I want to be very, very clear that we're not going to put any pressure on anybody. If you come and you listen to what you hear and you think, yeah, I can do that, bang, sign up. If you can't, you think, you know what, this is just not a good year for me, or I'm not ready for this, that's fine too. No pressure. We just want to let you know what we're doing and what it takes to do this stuff, right? Yeah, and we'll sign you up. You don't normally to sign up to be a precinct delegate, you have to sign an affidavit and take it to a notary sign it in front of the notary, and then take it to the county clerk and give it to them. Or they have a notary there, and you can sign it there. But we'll have it all right here.
Easy for you.
Let us help you. Let us help you help yourself.
We'll provide the forms.
We'll provide the forms, the notary. Yeah, everything will be here. So if after
we'll take it in for you as well, right?
Yeah, and we'll even drive it there exactly. So yeah, we've done this a time or two. So we can make this very efficient for everybody. But it's a good opportunity to really learn not just what precinct delegates do, what they can do, what they're encouraged to do, and then we'll give you opportunities to do it. Whether you're a precinct delegate or not, you can still help. But come. So look for that. We'll be putting out a flyer here, and I'll talk more about it next week. But I'll have a flyer. We just kind of decided on the date on April 30th. That's going to be Thursday, April 30th, and I'll be right here at the Victory Center. So I'll have a flyer out for that. And we're encouraging everybody to come and ask your questions and contribute. Maybe you've been a delegate and maybe you can help other people relieve any concerns they might have. Maybe they can ask you questions about what it's like. So we would like all the help we can get.
And bring your friends. I mean, if you have friends that are interested in contributing to being involved, bring them.
Yep.
Because maybe this might be the thing that that rubs them the right way. And,
that's right.
Floats their boat, and then we have another person.
Well, it's always more fun to volunteer with a friend anyway, So not that you'd be here alone by yourself. Even if you just came all by yourself, trust me, you'd be among friends very, very quickly. So we're a very welcoming and approachable group. So we enjoy meeting new people. We enjoy having them, and all our stuff isn't work either. I'm going to make some announcements here, and I sort of got a little busy this week creating more stuff for me to do. I was telling Norris, I don't know what is the matter with me, but April 14th we are having our monthly breakfast, and that is every month we have it at a different spot at 9:00 in the morning. The second Tuesday of the month we have a breakfast. Any Republicans welcome to join us. You get to meet new people. You get to talk to people. This month is going to be at pardon me while I look at the flyer she just sent me. Oh, darn it. Oh, wait, there it is right there. 14th is at George's Coney and Grill Restaurant. George's is in the Kroger Plaza in Howell on M59 and Michigan Avenue. It's a very good Coney Island, really good breakfast. Best. They have this Jewish rye bread that is out of this world. It's the kind that doesn't have seeds in it. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, so George's there at 9:00 on the 14th. That's one. We have on the 23rd is the fourth Thursday dinner. We do that every month. So these are things that as you make Republican friends, you can join us in. And you can come to this one. You can't come next month, and don't come next month. That's fine. But it's not a big commitment you have to make. But I got to tell you, sometimes you go places and you're around people, and I mean, Norris, have you found this where it's sort of, you're not sure of their company, you don't know if you want to talk about, something happened or someone says something about Trump or about, makes a remark, and you just don't feel like you're around friends. You have to watch what you say. Not here, you can say whatever you want. And it's, it's a matter of, it doesn't matter we all think in lockstep. Some people like certain things better than others, but we all respect that we all do this.
Yeah, we have a variety of beliefs. I mean, definitely on the right side of the spectrum for the most part, right? But I think for the most part we can at least have civil conversations, and if we don't resolve our differences, that's fine.
That's right.
At least we don't go apart hating each
No,
other,
no.
like with Democrats.
Right. No, that's exactly right. No, Norris is correct. We have a great way of saying, yep, this is what I believe. I see that's what you believe. Okay, got it. Okay. But, even if you don't end up being convinced, having a conversation with somebody that believes on the right side, but still differently than you, still broadens your horizon. So you can't really lose by doing that.
Absolutely.
So Mark Ashley blesses us for everything we're doing with local politics. They're awesome, and yes, they are. People get all worked up about governor, and they get worked up about president, and they get worked up about these big, and which they're important, and no doubt. Let me tell you something. It's your local guys. It's your local guys that put the screws to you as fast as hell, like that. The schools can do that. The school districts can affect your bottom line so quickly. Even library boards, affect your kids, your townships and your cities and things. They're all very, very, very important. So your local county parties, I mean, we'll help state reps if they need it. And on down, we don't usually go any farther than that. I've got a couple of exceptions here, but we generally stick to, the congressional stuff. We have representatives to the 5th and the 7th congressional. Matter of fact, Norris. It's one of the things I approached him on. So anyway,
It's all your fault.
I know. I just looking at the list, it keeps growing, doesn't it? So we have they focus on Tom Barrett. They focus everything on him, which that's great. We need that, and so we help support that. The party helps support that, but we have representatives that works on that board that gets elected to that board. So it is, but our stuff. I mean, we focus on the county clerk, or not the county clerks. We do, but the local clerks and the local township clerks and the local township supervisors and the local township trustees and. That's important stuff because that affects you now. I mean, who the governor is going to affect us in the big picture, but your local township is going to put the solar farm in front of you, so or data center or whatever else you might not like. So
levy other taxes on you.
That's right. That's right. Whoosh, quick taxes. So. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's what we pay attention to around here. So
Brighton, excuse me.
Yeah, yes. Oh yeah. Well, see, that's on my list too. On the 21st of April, we have a special. I've invited both sides of the. Well, let me be real clear. I've invited Republican members from both sides of the Brighton High School bond issue to come here and talk it out. And so we've had, John Connolly, who's heading up the hell no portion of this bond issue, and then we have three Republican members that are on the school board, and I've invited them to come and have a kind of a point counterpoint kind of thing as it pertains to this Brighton High School, because the Brighton High School or the Brighton board is claiming that the anti-group has misinformation. The anti-group has said their information is just fine, and they can prove it, that they're being the other side's not giving all the information. So let's find out. Let's bring them all in. So I don't know who the Connolly people have accepted. I have not heard from the other side. I will be very, very clear. I've been very, very clear. This is not a fair and balanced show. I mean, we tell the truth as we see it here, but we are not representing Democrats in any way, shape, or form. I don't have Democrats on my show to explain their side of things. We are here to explain the Republican side of it, period. That's it. So, no, I'm not opening up to anybody that wants to come and talk about the Brighton High School side of this or Brighton Schools side of this. If you're a member and you want to talk about that, that's fine. You're welcome. But if you're not a member, no, not coming in. I know I caught a little grief about that, but this is an unapologetically Republican show. Simple as that. So we're not interested in the other side. So coming next, after that's the 21st, then we have the 25th. Will you be here the 25th? Brian Ignatowski, and he's our embarrassing. No, he's not embarrassing, but our district, we have one embarrassing district in all of Livingston County. We have 100% full partisan elections, or 100% Republicans here, except that stinking 48th district, which is the bottom of Livingston County here. Just got a few, and it shares a few townships with Washita, one with Jackson. So, and that one's being held by a Dem, and we need to flip that. So I have made Brian I think you've all heard it. Brian's been my priority this year, so I'm putting a lot of effort into him. So we've had his ice cream sundae social on April 25th. He's kicking off his walk day, first walk day, Saturday, April 25th, and it's gonna be here at the Victory Center. And I have offered to, that's at 10, at 8:30. I've offered anybody that wants to walk, come here and have breakfast. So I'm gonna be scrambling eggs and making my bunny cakes and putting sausage out and things like that. Home fries with bunny seasoning in. You're gonna die. So that right there is worth the walk. So if you do want to walk for Brian or whatever, then yes, Brian at brian48.com, I think. And so that's where you want to register with him. But again, look at the Livingston County Republican Party website, the Facebook page, and that's got all these flyers and things on it. So So you can come and walk, you can come and eat breakfast, you can come and help scrambled eggs, whatever you want to do. So yes, and anybody that wants to help me cook too, chair at livingstonrepublicans.com. Sign up. What else we have? That's breakfast and walking on the 25th. And on the 30th is our delegate party, or our delegate party. Yeah, it might be a party, who knows. But our delegate roundup here, and more about that next week. May 5th, we've talked about this before. May 5th is our Lincoln Day. And remember, that is the big Mexican spread, and candidates are starting to sign up to come. So that's going to be fun to do. And then May 12th, you'll remember last week we had a blast here with Doug Lloyd coming back to the podcast to kind of talk about his win and talk about his, his highlights of his campaign and also what he wants to do. And we had a nice reception here before that. We're going to do the exact same thing May 12th here with Anthony Ferlini, who's the Secretary of State candidate. Anthony's a lot of fun, and he's going to come here and be on the podcast. And we'll have a live audience here, and we'll have reception and snacks. And yes, I'll make the football dip for anybody that's wanting to know. And yeah, so
chili.
Chili. You want that chili again? Yeah. The chili will be at the Lincoln Day.
Okay.
So suddenly the ticket price is worth it. I get it. Okay. Yeah. So we'll have. I'm not sure. Well, May 12th maybe that might not be chilly weather. We'll see. If it's chilly weather, I'll bring it. All right. So we'll have the reception here starting at 6, and from 6 to 7. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. 6 to 7 will be the reception, and then 7 to 8 or so will be the podcast. And then let me break here. June 10th is a big reception for Brian Ignatowski. We're having at Wilson Estates Vineyard in Stockbridge. It's like Stockbridge Gregory border. And that'll be $100 a ticket. But that's his big fundraiser. And we're going to have wine. It's a vineyard, so they're going to have their wines, for sale by the glass, and hard ciders, and they have non-alcoholic wines and all kinds of soda and stuff like that. So, and there'll be hors d'oeuvres and things there. But that is the big one to help Brian. So if you can in any way make that one, please do. Again, chair at livingstonrepublicans.com. There'll be more about that on the website. Also, July 8th. This is Russ. Are you paying attention? Wake up, Russ. Come back here and watch. We are putting together, our Secretary of State and our Attorney General. I did not realize. Did you realize how much they have to pay to go through the convention?
Yeah, it wasn't cheap.
No, I think there's like a $10,000 entry fee, and then there was more if you wanted to put literature out. Then they had to have those breakfasts or those receptions. That's expensive. So I'm thinking to myself, my God, the guys are kind of trying to get elected here, and they're broke by the time they come out of the convention.
Not helping. That's
no. So anyway, well, whatever. Let's help them. So I started thinking about it. Doug, I was teasing Doug. I was talking to him, and he said, boy, he goes, I just feel like every day I got to put my hand out. And I said, I just pictured him going, please, sir, may I have some more? And he laughed. So anyway, I went back to the vineyard, and I set up another date. So July 8th. So Russ, you hear that? July 8th is going to be we're going to have a reception at the same vineyard for Anthony Ferlini and for Doug Lloyd. And it'll be a $100 ticket to get in, except it'll be divided into 2 checks. Come in with 1 check for Anthony for $50 and 1 check for Doug for $50. And I'm looking for I've already reached out to other county GOPs, including Russ Jennings over here from the fabulous birthplace of the Republican Party. And really, we just need you to provide, if you're a county party or you're part of a county party and you want to collaborate in this, we just need you to agree to put out, to bring a couple of good size, healthy, because there's going to be a lot of people, a couple of generous hors d'oeuvres or appetizers, and then agree to promote it. Agree to promote the I'll be making the flyer this week. So that's all you got to do, and you're now a co-host. So we're gonna it'd be the easiest thing you've ever done, Russ. Just get your ladies. You said you have ladies that do that stuff real well. Good. Other than that, all you got to do is send it out and ask people to come. We're hoping to have multiple hundred people there for this. So, I mean, this has got a lot. We have to take this back. We can't do we can give individually to our favorite governor candidates, right? But we can't do anything now because it's a primary. So, the primary. So, after August, we can, focus on getting, having fundraisers or whatever for the gubernatorial candidates. But for right now, I do not want to leave these guys in the lurch. We have to beat their guys. We have to take this. So, to do that, we all know it. They need money. So, this to me is a nice mid-Michigan area. I've, sent off to Ingham and to Eaton, and I talked to Washtenaw. They're going to go to their board and talk. I've talked to Russ. He's pretty sure they're going to jump on board, and I've still got other counties to call. So want to get any county I can, involved in this. So if you're willing, please let me know. If you're willing to help, lay out food or keep an eye on food or pick up whatever stuff and put it away, kind of monitor that thing or greet or whatever, would love to have you. That is on Wednesday, July 8th from 6 to 9 p.m. So that'll be a beautiful, beautiful summer night, and everybody will be tan, and you can wear your little spaghetti straps and show off your nice tans and sunglasses.
Or you can just have a permanent tan. You'll be all set.
If one of us would have said that, we'd have been skewered. Oh God.
I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, well, you're amongst friends. You're amongst friends, Norris. You always have been. All right. So anyway, all right. Well, so Norris, what else are your thoughts about delegates?
Well, I was very happy with the results of the state convention.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had choice delegates and delegates that voted the right way for candidates that we believe can win.
Right.
And I think that is one of the crucial aspects of delegates, right? Not just to have a body to fill up the seat, but somebody who is thoughtful and reflective and understands that there is strategy that goes into candidate selection, right? I'm going to get a little, I might piss a little few people off here, but there was the whole, America First thing, and I get that, but the point is, if you get a candidate that's so, what's the word? I wouldn't say unhinged, but extreme, whatever, right? You have to play to the audience that you're dealing with, right? Michigan, like it or not, at best is a purple state. So you have understanding that, you have to have people that understand that and understand their strategy, that goes into that, and, choosing people that will actually be able to appeal not only to the base, but to the independents. You can forget the French left. They're unreachable. But there's that middle pool there that you have to be able to at least address and speak to. And if we can choose candidates that can do that, I think we'll be in good shape. And we have to have delegates that understand that kind of thing. So to me, I can't say I'll discriminate in choosing delegates, but I would like to have people that understand those kind of things, right?
Yeah, and this is what Norris is talking about. I've had this my favorite. This my go-to slide for explaining this. This is what people tend to think. I think they think that this is what Michigan looks like because it's purple, half Democrats, half Republicans. No, not so. This is what it's more like. You have more independents. Depending on who you talk to, it might come in a little bit, but at very least, I think it's going to be equal purple, red, and blue. Those independents are swing voters. All right, they'll vote for a candidate they like, or the one that they could vote for the candidate they like. They could also vote for the one that they dislike the least. Yes, and that's sometimes that's what you get. It's a choice. Sometimes you get a choice of a bite out of the rotten apple or a bite out of the rotten orange, and you just got to pick the one you can stomach. So this independent thing, and either the left or the right starts getting too extreme in their candidates, the ones that finally go to the general, this big purple, this purple section in the middle, they don't like extreme, so they're gonna go with, you know, either the one they dislike the least or the one that, you know, is the most mild. So this is what Norris is talking about, because if you're going to a convention and you have a choice of getting, you know, somebody kind of on the borderline of purple and red, or somebody way over here to the right, you know, it might be more of your favorite. Your favorite might be the one that's more to the right, but that is not gonna play well in your in the general. I mean, Christina Caramo, look at that Christina Caramo race, remember? She was more right. Okay, she was a great advocate. There's nothing wrong with her, except that she was, you know, the reason Jocelyn, I mean, like I said, that purple base does not like to pick up extremes. And yes, Jocelyn was kind of an extreme liberal, but then again, Christina's talking I remember hearing her say that yoga was the work of the devil. So, okay, where are we going with that one? You know, how is that going to work? So anyway, so I'm not saying that they can't win things, and they can't win, but statewide races, look at a statewide race. Look at them. What really far right candidate have we ever gotten elected? We've had some try and we've had some lose. So I'm not saying we have to get a rhino. What we just need is somebody more. You got to have somebody that's going to be, you know, Republican, but they've got to not be, you know, too extreme. So I think that's what Norris is saying. And so going into, I know we all chipped in. I wrote articles, Chris Long wrote articles, and it was everywhere about electability, because it doesn't matter if you like and my key statement on those articles were all the good ideas they have, all the plans they have, how good they would be, you know, how awesome it would be if they were governor. None of that matters if they can't get elected, you know, and none of that, it's even worse if none of that matters if the other guy is going to beat them. So, and I always use, you know, basketball as kind of the reference here, and it's, you know, the coach doesn't pick the 5 guys he likes the best, or with the best personalities, or even just the tallest 5 guys. He sees, you know, the home coach sees that who the other team's putting out, and he puts his 5 guys in that will best outpass them, outdribble them, outblock them, outshoot them. You know, that's how you win. It's looking at the other side and who matches up the best. So I think that's what you were talking about. And we found, you know, Doug Lloyd and Anthony, I think, are really good electable candidates, and they don't have baggage, and they're both solid conservatives, but they're not, you know, they're not running around bashing anybody on the head about it. So I feel like they've got a good chance. But they need money. So back to my July 8th. So make sure you come to that. And if, like I said, if you're watching from another county, or another Republican Party, please reach out, and love to have you collaborate. Easy peasy. We'll just put your name on there. Co-host, you know, hosted by these parties, these people, and you know, we'll thank you appropriately, and we'll all take part in the celebration when they win. So anyway, so looking for delegates that are interested in learning about that, not just coming in and getting, you know, told by somebody else to
no, I mean, that's the thing. We want people who are independent thinkers, right?
Right.
You know, we want people that can look at the information, assess the information, and then make a reasoned decision, given, you know, not only the information but the landscape as it is, right? I mean, you got to be able to see the landscape, and then, okay, all right, we are, like I said, Michigan is a purple state. You know, you can call, regardless whether you agree with it or not, extremist candidate, either side, is going to have a hard time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even on the left, I mean, even though they seem to be getting, you know, some traction, in the end, they won't make it.
No.
For the most part.
No.
So, you know.
Not if we have solid people there.
And that's why the Duggan threat is at least, you know, real, right? Because he at least puts himself out there as a centrist, right? Although I think really
watch him still every day waiting for his nose to grow every time he says that. You know?
So I mean, so those are the kind of things, you know, we have to think about when we, you know, as delegates, right? So You know, because we have very important jobs. Like say we select, like say the Attorney General, the Secretary of State candidates, Supreme Court. We just did that as well. School board. So there, is
state school board, yes,
a full ballot of people. And when we go out as delegates, as people who are campaigning, we had not only say, okay, yeah, these are the top of the ticket people, but do not forget the people down ballot.
Right.
We had to remember the Supreme Court. That is a very important office.
Yes, it is.
People don't realize that, but there have been some major decisions that come out of the Michigan Supreme Court, which have been detrimental. So, we're out there, don't forget to remind people that, yeah, these people are there too, and you need to consider them as you vote, right? Don't just stop at the top.
Right.
Got to go all the way.
All the way down. That's right. All right, so we have Karen here, I believe. Karen has more accounts than anybody I know. The left had a big wake-up call with their open celebrations of Charlie Kirk's murder, open support for violent illegals, and their catering to anti-Semitic jihadists. Independents noticed that. Yes, they did. That would be a big way to swing the independent swing voters toward our candidates. That's agreed, Karen. You could not be more right. That was a huge wake-up call for, I think, a lot of independents. Well, look what happened. Got Trump elected, right?
Yeah.
I mean that was I mean, a lot of the stuff that they're doing did that. And so once Charlie died and they started acting like that, people were just absolutely disgusted. And it's just very much like the whole nonsense in Minnesota, where they're screaming. Did you see that? Kill every ICE officer. Are you kidding me? Anyway, so yeah, that's just not right. So but you know what? I always say every time one of them comes unhinged, they send another purple voter our way. So none one of those swing voters to the right. So I'll take them.
That's a good point.
That is a very good point. So please do continue. I will get that every once in a while. There's a crazy Democrat woman that she's one of those extremists, the TDS nuts. And she I just ended up blocking her because I don't want to deal with her, but she would find me wherever I was and criticize, and I mean, but it was like, it was never I disagree with what you're saying, because I'm open to have those conversations all day. I'm not threatened by them. I'm not, I can reason with somebody. That was quick. That was interesting. When it's we had problems when I disagree. It isn't I disagree with you because it's, well, you are homophobes and
You're
fascists and racists and I know. Please, yes. Let's see. They've already stopped talking about the attempted murder of Jewish children 30 miles from here. Oh yeah. Now if that was a Republican did that, that'd be front page the rest of the year. So see, you racist, anti-Semitic Republican pigs, you. That's exactly how it would be. So, but I have anyway. So, but there's this woman would just come at me with her craziness, and I just started not responding. I would just say something like, "Every single time you say a word, you open your mouth, you send another swing voter my way. So please do. And by the way, thank you for Trump." That sort of lights a little bit of a powder keg. So, oops. Anyway, I ended up doing this. So I don't know if anybody of you follows me on Facebook. I did a rant last night that's already got like 1,100 statements, and the rant is this: I am done with TDS people. Finish, done, over, no more. I don't care how long I've known you. I don't care how long we've been friends. If you are just rabid about Trump, go away. Go away. I'm done. And I feel bad because at one point I liked you and respected you, but that is gone. I am now disgusted by that behavior. Anybody that acts like that, I do not want in my life in any way, shape, or form. My peace is important. And, I don't think that President Trump is perfect. I don't think any president ever has been perfect. I think he's, doing a lot of things that most people that voted for him want him to do. I know that he's doing things that the people that didn't vote for him don't want him to do. So, but you know what? I remember Obamacare and thinking that, what on earth is this? This is the most awful thing to hit, and I was right. I mean, many of us were right that it was a horrible idea. It could have been done better, but no, they rushed it through, just like they rushed through vaccines and every other crazy things. So it's like, you know, I don't want to hear it. You didn't hear me every single day, every single thing. You know, I mean, you bump your toe on the sidewalk. Oh, Trump.
Right.
You know, it's like, God, stop. So I just decided that's it. I'm done. I went through my friends list and started blocking. And you know, and these are people I've known for years. And it's really sad because, you know, it used to be we could talk about softball, we could talk about baseball, the Tigers, Howell, farmers market, all kinds of stuff. And now all it is Trump. You know, okay.
They're obsessed.
I know. And they don't see it. They see it as they're suddenly coming to the table. And it's that crazy behavior that's sending the people my way. So anyway, Sherry, you are superwoman. Yay, here I go. Note my cape. Okay, thank you, Mark. Your personal opinion, President Trump is the greatest U.S. president. Well, many people share that. You know, I think he's a good president. I don't agree with everything he does or says, but okay. He's not looking for my permission. I mean, well, you know, he's got the right to do what he wants to do there.
And this is the thing people need to understand, right? People think that whatever candidate you get is supposed to be perfect. You name me one human being that's perfect.
No, I don't know any.
Yeah.
Maybe you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But well, that may change if you ever tell me no to a committee.
Outside of Jesus Christ, I don't think there was any perfect human being, right?
Nope,
So,
nope.
you know, you have differences with everyone in your life.
Yep.
You know, whether it be your spouse, your friends,
right,
your family, whoever, right? You're going to have differences.
Right.
Nobody's going to be 100% you. If you want somebody 100% you run.
Right.
Otherwise,
right.
You know, you're not going to get everything you want.
I know. And you know, we've got some really. I'm really energized about the candidates we have this year, both in the state and Senate. You know, the state and locals. We've got some good local ones that are stepping up here. I was told that Howell Township had a supervisor position open, and I heard Rob Spalding applied, and I will tell you, Rob's got a reputation in Livingston County as a conservative, but not just a conservative, a well-liked. And I remember there was a scandal in Howell City when he lived in Howell City, but there was a scandal some years ago. He was on, I don't remember, was it planning zoning? I want to say it was planning and zoning. It could be some other, it could be a tax appellate board or something. I don't know. But it was one of the Howell, I think, appointed boards. And his appointment came up. Now, he had multiple times. He was well liked. He did a great job. But he was vocal about something in the city. That they did, and he took issue to it publicly. Not mean, very respectfully, but it was basically like, no, I don't think we need to do this. But I think it was they were trying to get a millage pass, and he said no. He said no, he didn't think it needed to be done. And the city, so when it came time to reappoint him, they wouldn't do it, and they didn't even tell him. And so after all these years of doing it, they just booted him. And the city went crazy and started really, you know, the residents, the voters got a little ticked off because Rob was really well liked and he did a good job, you know, but he expressed his opinion on whatever happened, and so they didn't appoint him again. So they gave enough grief that they reversed their decision and brought him back. So, but he stood it, and he didn't fight it, and he didn't get into the mud with the pigs. He didn't drama. He just stood still, and I always admired that about him. All right, you know, someday people are going to look back and realize Trump was a lot more effective than he ever got credit for.
That's true.
Well, that's true. Well, most politicians treat problems like soda can, just kick them down the road for the next guy. He walks up and crushes a thing. After decades of watching the same issues drag on, seriously, it felt like 47 years of the same story. He actually stepped in and did something about it. Love him or hate him, that's exactly the playbook, standard playbook in Washington. And, there's more. He ran out of typing. But wait, you are right, as usual, Madam Chair. Obama lovers are so biased. If I say 2 words against Obama, I get stoned to death by Obama lovers. If I say anything good about Trump, I still get stoned to death by Obama lovers.
That's for sure.
And here's the thing. I've learned a long time ago that there is a difference between condemning the man and disliking his policy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's how, to me, someone asked me what the difference was on this rant that I went on. And I said, like I said, there's a clear difference. Are you condemning the man or are you disliking what he's doing? Dislike what he's doing. We have some Republicans out there that dislike what he's doing. I don't like when they cross the line into now we're going to condemn the man. He's doing what he's doing, and okay, you can dislike it, and you can even say, I wish he would stop doing that now. I wish he would stop. I wish he would be more thoughtful about what he says. But all right, he's going to be who he is. So I look at his actions and go from there. But I say this: 90% of what he does, I'm in absolute sync with, and the other 10% is the other 10%. But I know this, with Obama, I didn't dislike the man. I didn't condemn the man, but I disliked about 85% of what he did and his policies. I didn't like them. I thought they were real bad for America. I still think they're bad for America. I still think they're hurting America. The residual effect is still going on. Look at healthcare. So it is bad. So, but I did not rant about it every single day. I did not make everything about that evil Obama. I never called him evil or crooked or corrupt
Fascist or racist. Or
right,
blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah,
That's the other thing. You know what? Screw everybody that does this. When you say I don't like Obama's policies, you're racist. You just don't like him because you're racist.
That's to get you. That's control. That's
it's because it is. And the other thing is, it's because they have no logic.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
If you throw mud at the wall and hope it sticks, if you've got no logic and no facts, so I know that I can deal with somebody who says I don't like this person's policies all day long and be fine. I used to work at I work at the House and the Senate, and part of what we had to do was write speeches or that sort of thing. And I was always very, very careful. And if we get something from, policy or from the media, whatever, that would say things like, well, the Democrat governor, blah, 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 I would always cross that off and just say, I would tell my boss, look, if you want to say that, you can say that. But I think that it inflames without getting anything done. Nobody minds hearing, I don't like this policy. I think it could be strengthened by doing this. But when you start, well, the Democrat governor, you just lost anybody listening. So that's just like that woman I said a little while ago. Every time she opened her mouth, she'd send somebody our way. So I don't want to be that person. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Part 2. You knew it was coming. What many people miss about Trump is that his words and actions are often part of a deliberate negotiating strategy. You are correct.
Yep.
He has spent decades building a multi-billion-dollar empire, results that don't come by chance. His style isn't traditional, but that's exactly why it works. He applies pressure, shifts leverage, and keeps appointments off balance. People may underestimate him, but that unpredictability is often a sign of sharp strategic thinking, not a lack of.
Absolutely.
That's true. That is absolutely true. And I saw some stupid thing, and I'm proud of myself. I thought, nope, resist, keep walking, keep scrolling. But I saw some stupid statement about Trump. He can't. He's only doing this because he doesn't know how to negotiate. I'm thinking to myself, the guy literally wrote the book, the premier book on negotiation. I mean, he literally wrote that book. If there's anything, you can't say he doesn't know how to do that. Yeah. Welcome back, Jason. 2A, I'm assuming he's talking to you.
Yeah,
let's get the constitutional conceal carry jammed through in the middle of the night. Why not?
Just get around that damn Senate.
I know. Well, we're working on that.
Yeah. So it is amazing, we talk about basically the anti-Trump. I mean, these people are so unhinged that they are actually rooting against America.
Yes.
In their hatred for Trump. I mean, he cannot do anything right.
Nope.
Because he's Trump. The orange
right.
man bad, right?
That's right.
You can't tell me that a lot of this stuff isn't good for us. I mean, closing the border is absolutely critical and a wonderful thing for this country. Undoing all at least starting to undo the damage that was done probably the previous administration.
Administrations,
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when you are that unhinged that you can't see any good whatsoever
I know.
on what he's done, you've lost it.
I know.
Maybe
That's what I'm saying.
And if you hate America that much, maybe you should just go bye-bye.
I know. I love it when they
Go
say
to Canada.
I know. I love when I see the celebrities. I'm leaving in.
You're still here.
I've heard that twice now. We're starting not to believe you. I double dog dare you. No, it's it's the it's the you're right about that. Not good about America. And I think the way I put it in my little rant was something like, you would rather see America fail than ever praise at all him for doing something right. Like if the result is negative, then he did it. For no matter what it is, whether it's true or not, then he did it. And if the result is positive, well, it must be wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes another
Ron's
Ron Millard
back.
rant. Yes, history has a way of revealing what the moment often obscures. Are you writing this stuff, or are you like copying and pasting it off of here? Because you don't type this fast. Just as Abraham Lincoln faced intense criticism in his time, only to be recognized later as one of America's greatest presidents, I believe Donald Trump will follow a similar path. What happened? Oh, here we go. His leadership, decisions, and willingness to challenge the status quo will be judged far more favorable with time and perspective. When the dust settles, I'm confident he will be remembered as one of the most impactful and consequential presidents in. I'm thinking it's going to say America before he got cut off. See, here's what's going on. I know exactly what he's doing. He's already written this stuff out. He's just copy and pasting it. That's why you get the cut off word. We found you, Ron. Love the country you live in, according to Jason, or live in the country you love. Hey, there you go. And that's the other thing. I think I've said this before too. You got these illegal aliens, right, that come here. And they're leaving here because they live in a land of a bunch of murderous bastards that, make it miserable for them to live there. And they can't live there healthy. So they come here because they want to live here. And Dad, let's just err on the kind side here. So they come here. At least this is what Democrats want, right? Democrats want them here because they don't want them to get forced to go back to those horrible places they live, right? So we just keep taking them in, so we can save their little dreamers from their bad stuff. On the other hand, Trump goes in and he just kills the murderous bastards that take over the country and says, "There you go, enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Now you can but now you've got a safe place to live." Oh no, that's terrible. Let's just keep taking them in and whatever. So.
Well, or it's the whole fact that they're trying to import new Democrat voters, but
that could be part of it. We'll see. Here's Karen again. When the leftists like Dingell couldn't join the applause for the cancer survivor DJ Daniel, their hatred was nauseatingly apparent. Yes, absolutely. You are correct. During his speech. I mean, they couldn't stand for anybody. They couldn't stand for the mother that lost the daughter to the alien. And, oh no, they stayed on their asses for the in defense of the illegal alien that killed the girl. No. And that's the kind of stuff that they don't understand. It's going. It's taking people away. We're back to that big purple base in the middle, head and right. Come on over here. The water's warm. We're not nuts. It is. Truly depraved. And you are correct. You are absolutely correct, Karen. So, what else is on your mind out there? We're chatting with the chair at this point. I think we've gone beyond our delegate chat.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
You're not done. You stay right here chatting with the chair. What else is going on out there? What else is on your mind? What else is going on here?
What's the latest and greatest in the county?
Latest and greatest in the county is some of those seats that are filling up on, we got some empty seats. Pinckney has not school board.
Oh,
it's
okay,
the well, probably there too.
Good luck.
But Pinckney, excuse me. Breaking news.
Wow.
Apparently, there were 4 illegals arrested in Howell from Guatemala. Really? Ha! Who knew? They hurt anybody, or they just get caught here? So in Pinckney, there's a open city council They have a city council or a city village council.
Oh,
whatever it is, they've got to open. They've got to opening there.
Village trust.
Now listen, people. Listen, all you people here that live in Pinckney. You know darn well the Democrats are sending somebody, and they'll get an easy in. So we definitely need somebody in Pinckney to step up and apply for that. We've got some empty seats that have come up, although some of them are being. And I think I started to say Rob Spalding. He filed. I heard he filed in Howell Township for the Howell Township supervisor. So that is good news. Howell Township will be well served by him. Like I said, he's drama free. He's a nice guy. He's well liked, and he will he'll toe the line. So good for him. All right. What the hell is going on in Fowlerville? Oh, did you have something you want to bring up?
No, go ahead. I was trying to see what areas we need delegates for, but go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, okay. What the hell's going on in Fowlerville? They had a hazing incident for a wrestler where they peed on him.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. And, of course, they're not commenting on it, but the mother took the kid out of school. The kid was, obviously traumatized. But, that was like a hazing incident for the, I think the wrestling team is what it was. What in the, ew. That is just wrong. Why do people do stuff like this?
I've heard of hazing.
Well, you got that, then you got Heartland. Heartland cancels a meeting, doesn't tell anybody. Cancels a school board meeting. Whoop, done. Nobody knows what happened, or at least I haven't read about what happened yet. So if you're from Heartland and you know what happened with that school board, start typing, please. We'd like an explanation. But yeah, and then when before that, you got the superintendent lost his marbles publicly and started yelling. Had ended up like 3 or 4 days later sending out an apology. But yeah,
he's lost it. I remember his principal.
Yeah.
What was this again, you said?
Chuck Hughes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fowlerville or Heartland. So so that got out of hand.
There.
But he lost it. So they had it on video. Very well watched video. We'll say that. So what are people thinking? And so then you got between the Brighton Schools bond and the Fowlerville pissing incident, and then the I don't know what we got to come up with something. We got to.
Golden showers.
Ew. Golden hazing. The Fowlerville hazing incident. Ew. So anyway, yeah.
Oh,
God. I don't want. Yeah. I don't even want to know what you read. Anyway. So So that's what the heck's going on with the schools? Howell seems to be doing okay. Although Howell's over they had a little bit of a kerfluffle there when the students wanted to protest during school hours, and the community said no.
Well, yeah, it's a liability issue for one.
Well, besides that, it doesn't send the right message. Schools, you're there to learn.
Yeah, well, that one.
You want to do that after school and do it. You have the right to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure the participation rate probably shrank a lot.
Well,
it was after school because,
Yeah.
Whereas, we don't have a skip day.
So the assault, just called assault, okay? Golden assault.
See?
You did it now. Thank you for putting that. I need a fork to poke my mind's eye out right now because now you. So anyway, but you know what? On behalf of reasonable, sane people out there, to the mother and to the teen that got assaulted. Thank you, Karen. We send our sympathies and our apologies for that. That's inappropriate.
Yeah,
what on earth are they thinking?
What happened to the good old days with blanket party or whatever, right?
Right, exactly. So anyway, so that's just that's what it is. So
okay. I was just looking.
Okay.
As far as areas that we really need delegates.
Okay.
Brighton City is one. All precincts 1, 2, and 3. Howell City, precinct 2 is short. Brighton Township, definitely 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
and 6 actually, all of them. So we need some holes filled there. Hockta, Conway, Deerfield's like empty, I think. So,
Okay.
and I'm not sure if I don't know anybody there, to be honest. So I don't know how to actually reach that area of the county.
Where, Deerfield?
Yeah,
I think, isn't that where Terrence Fry is?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
No, he's not there because he's already registered, so he's
Okay.
somewhere else.
All right.
Genoa is pretty much wide open, all precincts.
Okay.
And let me see, Green Oak could use some filling as well. Hamburg could use some filling. And like I say, we had the same problem last year with some of these.
This is after all the people that we have registered and put in there?
Yeah. So there's still a lot of spots to fill, and it's amazing. Some of the people may actually come up at the last minute and renew that aren't part of the directly part of the party.
Mm-hmm.
So that there may be that, but I mean we filled the people who actually came to the convention that are part of the party.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if we can do something to reach the other people that maybe don't necessarily attend meetings regularly.
Okay. We can do an
possibly.
email blast easily.
Yeah, so that might be something too.
Okay.
So there are quite a few openings still. Osceola is still quite open, and Tyrone's still fairly open too. So.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna start. Where are you, Ty? Where are you?
Right in touch of 6 and I already.
You already signed up? All right, good. There's one down.
Yeah, you're good.
We're good. All right. Well, all right. What else is on your mind? Anything? God Almighty, I could not believe that. Kid got peed on. What is the matter with him? I just don't get it. What is wrong with people?
Oh, there's a lot of that, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand hazing and I understand it can be stupid.
Oh,
That was beyond stupid. That was a couple steps beyond stupid. That's what I think.
So yeah,
But I could be
how long
wrong.
does it take to wash that off?
Ew. Yeah, I know. There's just not enough soap in the world to get that off you. But imagine that,
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't remember the details. So one just popped in my head, but I can't swear to it, so I won't go there. But yeah, so look on the you'll find on WHMI or whatever. But I know Fowlerville Schools. Fowlerville Schools had they finally just kind of said, look, we can't talk about this, so they're not making any comment at all. Let's see, another Chinese spy in Ann Arbor. Well, thanks a lot for that little tidbit with nothing behind it. Come on, start typing. All right, Mark, I met the guy behind the camera at state convention. And who would that be? The guy behind the camera. I can't see who that is. Well, that's Mark getting his award there. I don't know who the camera. Who is the guy behind the camera? I don't know what you're talking about. And Karen, spill it about that Chinese spy. Get typing.
Yeah, that's
Ron, you gonna finish your copy paste from up here where you sort of like dot it out?
There was I know there.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. All right.
I think it's worth talking at some point about who has the best shot at winning governor's races. I'll support the Republican nominee either way, but I'd like to make sure we're backing the strongest candidate. No pressure to answer. I know it's a personal call, but I'd be interested in your thoughts if you're open to it. Well, that's a good question. Oh my gosh, hold on. Back to the Chinese spy. He jumped to his death after being questioned by authorities.
Wow.
Is that Harry Carey or is that no? That's Japanese, isn't he?
Japanese.
Sorry, whoops.
Wrong one.
Oh no, Kamikaze's Japanese. Is Harry Carey Japanese
I
too?
think it is
Maybe
too,
it is.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
That young man that was with you at Doug's party. Oh, Tyler. Oh, okay. Yes, I get you. Behind the camera. All right. Now I get what you're saying.
Okay.
He's the guy in front of the. He's the guy. He's the techie. That's what he is. He's in front of the computer. Yes.
So
yes.
So the governor's race.
Governor's race. All right, you want to talk about the governor's race? Okay, we can do that. Again, we have to be very careful here because the party's not supposed to be involved in primaries, and we did do the nuclear option with Doug because of the liability that was otherwise. But how about if we do this? How about if we
Pros
talk?
and cons.
Well, yeah, we could do that. I think what we could do is probably talk about their strengths for sure, but we could also talk about kind of the lineup and what we'll need. Okay, so, and then people could draw their own conclusions. All right, let's talk about the strengths. All right, so you want to start, pick a gubernatorial candidate.
Mike Cox.
Okay. Mike Cox, strength.
One would be he's held statewide office before.
Yep.
So I think that would be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has the attitude to get things done. Some people would call it, okay, I won't use that word, but
Oh, okay.
You know, but you know, people say the same thing about Trump, and sometimes that's what you need to get things done. You got to be that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
he has to be
pro or con. That could be a pro or con.
No, it could be either way.
Yeah.
He had. You're right though. He has won statewide office twice. He's beaten Democrats statewide twice, including when he was here. You know, we have a rule here when you're a candidate, you don't get to like insult another candidate while you're here. But he put a little toe on the line there and pushed it because he said, yeah, he was. You know, he had made that point how he won statewide before. And then he said, he goes, I'm also I'm also the only candidate that's ever beaten Gary Peters. And I'm thinking, oh, dig at James. poke down James. But anyway, so you're right. He's got that. The other thing he's got is a whole boatload of money.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you know, to me, like I say, you know, and this is what people have said, I mean, about the whole comment, but I was like, to me, it's like, that's a positive.
Oh, yeah, having that kind of money, yes.
Well, having the money and having the attitude.
Oh,
right?
yeah, he has a get it done attitude, there's no doubt. But, you know, I will say, I very clearly remember him. He was a badass attorney general.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
You know, if he's the same kind of governor, I could live with him.
Yeah,
so,
so.
The other thing he has, and this is, I think this is going to end up playing in the general, not the primary, but in the general, it could be very valuable. I don't know how valuable people think it is, voters think it is, and that is he's from Wayne County. Now, that's key because...
Well, so is Duggan, right?
So is Duggan, and so is Jocelyn Menson.
Oh, she's from Wayne County?
I think so. And so you've got, plus the other guy for Secretary of State is the Wayne County guy, the Lieutenant Governor. So there's this big, understand that in Michigan, this little area right down in here where Detroit is,
outside,
that's got more votes than like most of this together. Yeah. There's a lot of votes in here. And right now, Duggan owns this area. Now you got Benson, I think, is from that area too, so she could take some. But what we don't have, I mean, is what you can't let go is you can't not have a Republican taking some of the votes away.
Absolutely.
You get all that stuff with the Democrat owns this right here, and then whatever else they pick up, they could easily clean our clocks just for that reason. So I think having somebody from Wayne County, I think we have 2 Republican candidates. Well, of course, where's Perry Johnson from?
He's Oakland County, I think.
Oakland. Okay, so you got. I think you got Mike Cox, but I think John James at some point, or for some part of his life, whether it's all of his life or not, I think he also has Wayne County. Yeah. But anyway, so those are key things right there. I also think Mike has here's Mark talking about Mike Cox. He's lost a statewide primary in 2010. Oh yes, that was the gubernatorial. Yes, that was the gubernatorial. So. Yeah, he lost it to Snyder, did he not?
No, that would have been,
or was
2010. Wouldn't that have been what's her name?
No, that was Snyder.
2010. Okay.
Yeah, Snyder's first year was 11. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So that was Snyder.
That was.
And you know what happened there too is I think they had a split of the right to life ballot. It went to, and then Snyder rose. So, but anyway, I mean, Snyder was a brilliant campaigner and he had a great motto, so he just did well. But I think that, I also think that Mike is very, he's on the, I mean, he comes across like a little on the shy side, but once he starts talking, he's really funny.
He does.
And he's very personable. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, I mean, when you're like mingling with him or sitting at a table with him, he doesn't dominate the conversation or come right out swinging. He's a little bit more reserved, not shy, but reserved, I guess. But once he starts talking, he does a great job. He's got some really good commercials out recently where he's going different places and talking about, how Michigan's economy is affecting this industry or that industry, but it's not the, roll my shirt sleeves up and out in the field, shaking the hands with the farmers kind of thing. It's the actual, like a specifics. I thought it was real interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Mike Cox. I think that, he's got just as much, I think, chances. He's not somebody to count out. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's go to, how about Tom Leonard? Tom Leonard has got he's very well organized as far as his goals, right? When you meet Tom or look at anything he's got out there, his goals are out there. He's labeled them. It is, we're going to do this, and here's how we're going to do this. And he's got all his committees lined up, and he's got, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is a problem, and this is how I'm going to solve it. So he articulates his plans very, very well. Mm-hmm. He's got state government experience. He's not been elected statewide, but he's been elected Speaker of the House. So that's not a, so that's something you really have to learn how to.
So he's able to navigate
right
the multiple personalities that are involved.
Yes.
Right? So that's huge. Right?
Yes, I think that's very, very important. So you got two of them so far that can do that. One came in from the Attorney General, and people don't understand the Attorney General and the Secretary of State. They don't get to just make their own laws. They still have to go convince the legislature that what they want is what they're going to give them, and it's not always easy to do that. So Tom Leonard probably doesn't have as much money as he needs at this point, but he's not broke. He's got maybe $500,000 right now, where I think Mike is somewhere in the 4 or 5 millions, sitting in the bank. So, and here's Karen. Yeah, he did lose the primary to Snyder. Mark, he did. So he met.
It's possible. Things happen, right?
I think they've. For doing that, so did Tom Leonard. He lost to Matt DePerno. So, yeah. Ooh. All right. So, I met Mike Cox at one of the last dinners at Crystal Gardens, and he was very personable. He is. He really
he's a great guy.
But he's not like out there. He's not.
Well, I guess now that you say it like that.
Yeah, he's not like out there in your face, but he's very personable. He's very.
I guess
Tom Leonard is very personable.
I guess we connect too because my son's a Marine, so that's kind of a common point between Mike.
Was he a Marine?
Yep.
No, he was not a Marine.
He was a Marine.
See, I thought he was Navy.
He was a Marine.
All right, maybe he's Marine. All right, I trust you.
Technically he's Navy, but he's a Marine.
Okay, all right, okay. I thought it was I just thought it was something else. Okay, here we go.
I talked to Tom Leonard too. He's a really personal guy. He's a really nice guy. I think any of the candidates will probably be good. Good governors.
They'll have good.
I guess
spots.
It's just a matter of the appeal, right? I think how they appeal to the independents. That's going to be the big thing,
right.
I think.
Well, and again, we're back up to the electability and how they line up. So we'll get to that next. Let's just talk about the individual one. But Tom Leonard is, personable, and he's got great social media. He's out there all the time. I see him all the time, and his stories of him and his kids are always heartwarming and make he's very personable. I worked at the house when he was there, and he was a very fair and respectful leader. So I am, I could easily live with Tom Leonard as a governor. Well, who's the other one? Eric Nesbitt.
Yeah, I can't say I know a lot about Eric at this point. He seems like I've met him a couple times. He seems like a very personable guy.
Were you here during his meet and greet?
No, I missed that.
Okay.
I didn't get to see
Eric has got personality that comes around the corner 5 minutes before the rest of them.
Oh.
He is just that likable. You know him. You don't just mildly like him. You really like him. He walks right up to you, and you're the most important person on the planet for all of about 5 minutes when he talks to you. And he asks you about you, and he doesn't take over the conversation and dominate it to tell you about how he was going to make it about me. He's very, very respectful, and he is like I said, so darn likable. You can't help but like him. I don't know about his statewide reach. He's from over here. So there's he's a farm boy, which, he talks about being a farm, and he says that well. He says, look, I learned what hard work was ever since I was a kid. Yes, Eric Nesbitt did study at Hillsdale.
Yeah,
You're
that's
correct.
Yeah.
So yes, it is a good one. And he would have been the Senate Majority Leader, except we lost majority. So he was been the Senate Minority Leader. So much like the Speaker, it's it's very much the same.
I think what little I've heard of his plan sounds like it's pretty solid. But
oh yeah, his ideas when he came here, he talked about what he's going to do and why he wants to do it and how he's going to approach things. And I mean, he made a lot of new friends here, so he did a great job. Found him very respectful of people, and like I said, he's got that big personality that comes around the corner. That's huge because you got to be able to relate to, and he does when he meets you one-on-one or even in a group. He'll like talk to you, and like really talk to you, not just talk over your head. So he's got that great way of connecting with people. I don't know how much money he has, so I don't know if that's going to be an issue or not, but that's what I think of him. John James, I can't get here, so I can't say anything about him. Now, I did have at Doug Lloyd, I shouldn't say that, Doug Lloyd's, at Doug Lloyd's event, I had a John James team member here. And I told her, I said, look, I gave up. I'm not going to call anymore. I've called too many times and asked for him to be on the podcast. But since you're reaching out, I'm going to ask one more time. Does John want to come on the podcast? So I said, well, we'll do for him what we do for everybody else, and then a meet and greet. So she's supposed to get back with me. So okay, nice lady. We'll see. So so that is that's that. So then that leaves Perry Johnson, and I think he's a wild card. What do you think?
Yeah, that's sure about Perry. I don't know. I mean, he's coming on strong. He definitely has the money's not an object for sure with him. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I mean,
I think he's playing the eccentric card very, very well. He was talking about.
He's that for sure.
Oh yeah, well, but he's playing it well in his marketing. He had I saw a commercial of him upside down, talking to the thing and talking about how frugal he is, and he's so cheap he didn't hire an editor. And he walks over to the camera and is like, "This thing on," his face right here, and I thought it was really, really funny.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he doesn't take himself too seriously.
No, but he's making his points. Yeah,
aspect.
Why not?
It could work.
It could. Yeah. Like I said, I think he's a wild card. I don't know. I've tried to reach out to him to get him on the podcast. He tells me he'll do it, then he sends it to his staff, and so I don't know. We'll have to see. So again, I told him, I asked him like 4 or 5 times, and at some point I stopped asking. So if you want to, we're a very Republican county here, and we get behind candidates. I don't know why anybody would not want to come out here. We are, reach for January, February, and March was, over 11,000. So, is it 100,000? No, but 11,000 is nothing to laugh about, right? So, all right. Mark Ashley Price here. I'm upset at John James. Nobody better not ignore him. Nobody should. No, they shouldn't, should they? I am not a person that people should ignore. I'm nice to people. Why would you want to ignore me? What do you guys think would be the Republican nominee for LG? Well, that depends on the winner. Yeah, everybody gets to pick their own.
That gets a little messy, so I don't
yeah, sometimes.
Because that's saying this guy's going to lose. So
Mike Cox's mother is from Ireland, so he's got that going for him, and that must be Veronica. Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Our token little leprechaun there. So yes, that's true. He has told me that. So as far as lieutenant governor, what matchups, if you're going to take, just kind of idle chatter here, if you're going to take the candidates that we have and match them up, what would be good matches?
That is a good question.
I'll go first. Mike Cox and Eric Nesbitt.
I was just
or Mike Cox and Tom Leonard, either one of them. Because you have Mike down here with the Wayne County and the money, and then you have Eric on the west side and Tom more in the middle. But Tom has gotten around quite a bit, so he's spread some, and I'm sure Eric has moved around too. So I think they might make a good pair up.
Yeah.
What else? What other things?
Let me see. Cox and Perry. Interesting.
Cox and Perry Johnson? Oh my God.
That's your hubby.
My husband is running on very little sleep. Both money. Yeah. Well, that's the problem. That rarely do they do that. Then it ends up being this. So those are both two that would not back down to be the second in command. So you'd have to have somebody that might that somebody has the money and somebody needs the money. So. But whatever, if that's what you think. I can't see that one working, but I don't. So James, what? Oh no, we really didn't talk about James. We just said he won't come on here, so I'm mad at him. But John James, has lost statewide before. He lost twice, yes. So that wasn't good. He did win the congressional one. I'm surprised he tried this again without having had some, success record for a while, but okay. Everybody says he's a front runner, and I find that interesting.
That's what I've heard from people.
I know one person supporting him, and I'm not.
I see a lot of his stickers, so I don't. So he has more support than you think.
Maybe. Oh, I believe that, but
yeah, and I've heard arguments that he is the most electable.
Oh,
so I don't know if that's true.
I have a hard time with that one.
But I've heard people say that, and I'm trying to remember what the logic was behind that.
Well, Wayne County would be some of it.
Wayne County, I mean, he had that, but just what was the other reason? I can't. It doesn't come to mind right now, but. There was some other reason. I said, okay, I see your point. Still not my guy, but
well, I see that John has aligned himself with Trump a bunch, and so Wayne County supporters are going to have a harder time with that. Whereas Leonard, Eric, Mike Cox.
Well, Cox has too now with his latest commercials.
Well, he's talked. There's a difference between months and months and months and months of being right next to Trump and saying, what's his latest commercial?
It's about illegals and he's standing with Trump.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So standing with Trump on an issue is different than, fair constantly being their commercials together. So, I'm not having a problem with him being in a commercial with Trump. That's a plus in my opinion. Yeah. But when you're looking for that purple base,
could be a negative.
It could be a negative. Yes. We have a Netfish who is a no on James. Okay. You're not the only no, but like I said, he's leading the polls, so somebody's saying yes to him. Yeah. And I don't know. I'd have a better chance or better opportunity to hedge that a little bit more once I meet him. If he ever shows up on the show, I'd like to meet him. I'd like to sit and I got to know a lot about the candidates. I have known who Tom Leonard is. I listened to him speak as speaker. I've known who Eric Nesbitt was from being up there, but I did not get to know them. And even Mike Cox, I knew who he was, and I knew what he did. I knew some of the stuff he did, but I didn't get to know them really until the podcast, and that's when you really. Yeah. You really, because this is
ask questions.
Yeah, well, it's not, and it's not just about the questions. It's about the rapport and how well There's a personality that comes forward when you're sitting here for an hour and a half, and so I got to know them a lot better. So I don't have that opportunity with James, and I don't have that opportunity with Perry. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying I don't know. Okay. So guessing, I would say that having James be from Wayne County is probably a plus. James has some sort of military record that is now being fought as being phony. I do not know. No. Yeah, there's been all kinds of stuff out there about that. So who knows? Again. Love to have him here so I can ask him these questions.
Yeah, but fair enough.
Okay.
Like I say,
keynote speaker at one of the dinners too, which is the weird part.
He's what?
He was a keynote speaker at one of the dinners. I remember a few years back.
Okay.
James, so that's kind of weird though he hasn't.
Yeah. So you think that he'd want to come here to Livingston County, but okay. Here's Karen saying. Didn't John James not stand with President Trump when it mattered? That's true. Yeah. Mark says, no disrespect, he's not the most electable. He might have a slim chance. You know,
I didn't say he was. That's what I heard.
Right,
So,
right.
Don't take that's
No,
those aren't
that's
my
what
words.
the polls are saying.
Yeah.
And then you got Perry's polls. That Perry's polls every 3 seconds comes out with another poll. I'm gaining on him. Okay, and you know he might be. So like I said, I think he's a wild card because he's doing something different.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, but it's not different like the Anthony Hudson level different. You know, it's different, but it's
That's probably the other conversation we need to have. So now we have 2 of those, right?
2 of those what?
Independents all of a sudden now.
Oh no, we have he's a
Hudson
libertarian.
Okay, whatever.
Oh no, there's a difference.
I
A libertarian
know,
is a party.
I
An
know.
independent is a lack of party.
I got it.
So
I understand there's a
yes.
difference, but
Oh,
and then what's the other Carla?
Carla's an
Wagner?
independent. Carla Wagner's an independent. Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know how much clout they actually have to drag with them.
0.
but-
They don't have. Here's the thing. They don't. I mean, It's this. And I feel bad for them, but it's like they're making it other people's fault that they did not raise money. Well, that's because I wouldn't take Lansing money. Then don't bitch you don't have any money. You know? I mean, I remember having a discussion with Anthony one time. Well, I'm not taking that. He goes, how can they take me seriously? I said, you gotta raise some money. Well, you got Nesbitt, all he's got is that Lansing money. I said, and they're taking him seriously. I said, you're talking about that like it's a bad thing. I said, if you had Lansing money, you wouldn't be asking me why they don't take you seriously. And I said, taking money from lobbyists or associations or whatever, that doesn't buy you anything. It just, you got to get elected. I mean, if they feel like that, that you're approachable or that you'll listen to them, they'll support you. They want the most reasonable person they can get. But it's not. People think it's some kind of contract to an automatic vote. They're crazy. Not how things work. So anyway, I'd love to have John James on the show, and I'd like to have more of a comfort level that I can talk about him. I have a comfort level with Mike Cox. I have a comfort level with Eric. I have a comfort level with Tom because I've had him here. Who else? Oh, Ralph Rebrandt. Oh, Ralph Rebrandt. We forgot about him.
Oh yeah, I don't know a lot about him. So.
Oh well, he's a pastor.
I know that I do know.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I know.
Oh well,
about
here you tell me, and then I won't fill in. I won't.
No,
tell
that's
you
I just know he's a pastor.
We're done now, right? I can go. Okay.
All yours.
I'm joking. No, I don't. That's all I know too. He's got a little bit of a different shtick. He's coming in from the, I'm not the Lansing insider. I'm the outsider, but he's not coming across as crazy. He has a serious. He's using, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say he's using religion because that makes it sound like he's manipulating it, and it's not it. His guiding principles are biblical, which, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think Ralph is extremely personable, and he's very likable. And I liked him a lot when I met him. So I had no issues with him. Again, I think we might look here at a potential lieutenant governor because I don't think he's going to be able to raise the money that he needs. I mean, they're all saying they're going to have have any of them even turned in their signatures?
That's a good question.
I don't know that they have. I know that Megan early on had at Victory Graphics or whatever her company is that she gets hired to get signatures. I think John James hired her to get signatures for her.
Oh, okay.
So
he got someone reputable.
Yeah, so he got yeah. And Megan says she's gonna do it, or Megan gets hired to do it. She's gonna do it. So I remember at last year's the Pinckney thing we did, the Fruit Truck Friday. Megan had a booth a couple doors down, and they had people there signing up John James. So okay. So that's so I think I'm assuming, like I said, if you hire Megan to get it done, it's going to get done. So she'll get hers up there.
What is the number of signatures required?
Oh, I don't remember. I've asked every single candidate, and every single candidate has told me, and I do not remember.
Deadline is 2 weeks from today. To Mark Price.
Yeah. Mark, you have any idea how many you need for signatures? Or somebody Google? Oh no, that's what Tyler's doing. He's Googling it. I love Tyler. He just Googles stuff when I say. I wonder. 5 seconds later, he tells me. So, I don't know if any of them turned it in yet.
Interesting. Getting a little close to the wire. But
Yes,
I guess
they
you
are.
I guess you want to get as many as you can. Though,
Yeah,
so why go early? When
That's
you can
right.
Get more, so.
That's right. And on the 21st, what did I just say is happening? Oh, we're going to have that right in the school board ballot thing. We'll have to see how that works. But anyway, so I don't know if any of them got it. I also don't know if any of the U.S. Senate candidates have turned them in yet. I gotta believe. I mean, Mike has got enough. Rogers.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I don't know if Genevieve has, and you're right, Mark. Tyler's awesome. So I don't know about Genevieve, and is there what? Oh, Bernadette. I don't know if she is either. So we'll have to see. Tyler's got something. What?
Statewide positions. I just found a PDF. Nominating petitions filed for the office of governor, U.S. Senate must be signed by at least 100 registered voters in each of the at least half of the. Voters in each of at least half of the congressional districts in the state.
At least 100 of at least half of the congressional districts in the state. Don't know what that means. A lot. So
U.S. congressional districts, or
yeah, the 13 districts.
Okay, so that's not a lot necessarily.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, so somebody Google that and figure it out if you can find out how many.
Yeah, because I just got into the state of
Yeah, I
Michigan
know they have a
PDF.
lot of times they have these formulas that say you have to have a certain percentage of the your hairdresser's
So if
your
anybody
hairdresser's
wants to translate-
clientele on a given Tuesday and Thursday of that
if anybody
next
wants
month.
to translate Lansing.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, so yes, it is. But it's a lot. I know it's a whole lot. They were pulling it up. I know they're rounding up Tom Barrett signatures. So if you've got Tom Barrett petitions out there, let's get them in because they're going to be turning them in pretty soon. Or if you're doing any for Mike, nice little heads up. Mike Rogers has confirmed that he will be at the Lincoln Day dinner, so that'll be nice. We're going to have him speaking there as well as Judge Michael Warren. You might remember Judge Michael Warren was on this podcast last September. He was here before Patriot Week, and he showed up in his I don't know if he dresses up in his colonial clothes sometimes with his white powdered wig and that kind of stuff. I think he's going to be dressed for that for our Lincoln Day. He asked me, he said, "You want me in regular clothes or you want me in that colonial stuff?" And I said, we're celebrating America's 250th birthday. When is there a better time?
Go for it.
That's right. When is there a better time to dress like that? So he's going to come as a 1776,
And he's
whatever.
our Supreme Court candidate.
And he's our Supreme. Yeah, that had not happened when he agreed. Plus, he'll have his book on the. It's a line-by-line analysis of the Declaration of Independence. That is for a history person is like gold. So I'm going to give. I'm buying one for Jay. I'm going to get him. He'll be there selling them, signing them. I'm going to buy one for Jay, and Jay loves that kind of stuff, and I know Jay will love this book. So anyway, all right. Well, anything else? Did we answer your question, Ron, about what he's saying? Is it surprising that everyone running for governor on the right wouldn't be jumping at the chance to come in and give us their pitch? Depends if they think they need us or not.
Well,
I appreciate that Mike Cox said yes right away. Tom Leonard said yes right away. Eric Nesbitt, yes right away. Ralph Freebrand said yes right away. The first candidate I ever had on here was Mike Rogers. So, I really appreciate them coming in and, we're not huge, but what we are, other counties might be huge, but they only have, so many Republicans. We're not huge, but we got a lot of Republicans, and we negate those blue counties around us, or a lot of it. So, Mike Cox told me one time when I first met him at the Lincoln Day last year, what he had just first announced, and he had said that Livingston County, when he won the Attorney General's office, he said it was neck and neck, and it was Livingston County that brought him home. Brought it home for him. And I said, well, I strongly suspect it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
We have when our numbers come in, they come in, big for the right side. So, yeah, like I said, there's no threats here. I would never treat a candidate badly, and we make all our candidates feel at home, and we're very respectful, and we never ever allow any nonsense or any attacks. I just want to know about you. Tell us about you. We don't know you, Perry. We don't know you, John. Come on out and help us learn about you a little bit.
You never know. That might be enough for us to put you over the edge.
Well, I know that 3 times now. It's worked for some. They've gained some serious followers. So, it does work. So, anyway, all right. Well, I think we've pretty much covered everything we want to cover. Next week is the 14th, right?
Yep.
Let me just look at the.
Yep. We're on the 7th schedule.
Yeah. Just want to see if there's any. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. All right. So the 14th and then the 21st will be the 21st will be the podcast. And then, I mean, not podcast. Of course, it's a podcast. It's the one with the right. And I think we're gonna do is we may do something different this next time. Not this next time. The next time after the next time. On the 21st. Okay. We may have. I don't know. For those of you who didn't come here, we had the big great room that's on the other side of the studio here. We had a screen, and while we were in here in the studio, the small studio, doing the podcast, we had everybody that was here for the reception out there sitting at chairs and tables with, food and my awesome football dip and chili and stuff. And they were eating and they were watching the podcast on the screen, and they could text us their little comments here. And so it was fun. I might do this, the one with the schools. I might do this live where they get to ask questions. So we'll see if we can do that. That's a good Rob one. Rodriguez, if you're watching this, let's start thinking about how that might work. He's got all kinds of little camera gadgets where rather than have one camera on us, he might have it go back and forth, or, I don't know. Maybe we'll just move back and get a bigger table and get a round table and see what we can do. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to call it a night then. Good talking to all of you. Thanks again for, by the way, if everybody here, if you're watching on YouTube, or wherever you're watching it, hit subscribe for us, will ya? That eventually that'll come back to money. Like I said, we just crossed at the end of March. We crossed 11,000 views. Like I said, I don't know if that's great, good, mediocre, or it's not bad. So I know that when I started this, I was really hoping to reach a couple hundred Republicans in the county, and we've gone, statewide, and we've got people from all over the place watching and interacting with us, and it's been wonderful. So having 11,000 in 90 days is, to me, that's a good sign, right? That we're reaching some people and people are interacting, and our interactions are going well. So thanks a lot. But do me a favor, go to if you're not on YouTube now, go to YouTube at the right side Livingston, and just hit subscribe for us. It doesn't do anything for you guys, except it does a lot for us. So help us out with that if you will. And other than that, you can watch it through any of the Facebook opportunities we give you. But other than that, good news. So we'll see you next Tuesday, both at the podcast in the evening, but in the morning, 9 o'clock at George's in the Kroger Plaza over there on 59 in Michigan Avenue. We'll see you there 9 o'clock for breakfast. All right. Thanks, Norris, for coming on. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the stuff you do for us. Talk soon.